Good morning. How are you doing today? Today is Tuesday. Thank you for joining me. My name is Tina Kvergich. I am NorthernStamper. And today is TakeAWay Tuesday. Don't forget to grab your package that says January 25th. We are going to be making a great card with this today. And we will be using the In the Moment stamp set. I love this. This is the last week we're going to be using it, like spotlighting it. So I don't know if you have it already, but I love this set. It's one of my favorite. And we're going to be using it today. I'm going to show you how to create something fantastic with that. And I just wanted to let you know, thank you very much. This stamp set comes from the mini catalog, so if you don't have a catalog, comment below. I have some that are ready to go out, and I have some extras, so you want to make sure you grab some. Don't forget, January and February is a celebration, which means when you spend $60 or such, $60 or more, you can choose free items from the little brochure here. If you spend $120, you can get something a little bit more, like a stamp set and designer series paper. Speaking of designer series paper, next week, which is February, time is just flying, we are using the designer series paper to make cards. It is one of my favorite months because I love designer series paper. Good morning, Gail. I hope you're doing well. And Rita, Joan, thank you for joining me. Keeping nice and warm on this very cold morning. More snow last night came for us. I don't know about you. Comment below if you got lots of snow. We were out shoveling, and by the time we finished the driveway, we turned around and the driveway was full again. So always gotta be shoveling. I guess that's a Canadian winter for you. So thank you for joining me. If you are located, like I said, anywhere in Canada, you can grab a catalog from me. I have lots of classes coming up and some events coming up, so check them out. Next month's TakeAWay Tuesday is all full, so those packages have gone out. Hopefully you've received yours. March is actually full now. Thank you for joining me. We will be doing slim cards, fancy fold slim cards. So that was a tricky one because I had to redesign those right from scratch because I couldn't find any. And those we will be using the slim sayings. There's a stamp set from the mini catalog, slim sayings. I love it. Take a look there. There you go. It's fantastic. Also, for the month of February, with our designer series paper, we're going to be using one of the celebration stamp sets that's at $120. Now, this is a great stamp set because it's all sentiments, and if you get one stamp set and you don't have really anything else, it's great because you can still, I'm going to show you next month on how to create cards using only designer series paper, and all you need really actually then is this one stamp set or the slim sayings, and because it's just sentiments, it works fantastic. So special moments, spend $120 and earn this stamp set free. So check out those sentiments. Oh, happy birthday, you're amazing. A lot of great sentiments in there to use for creating cards. So this is a really good one to start with, as is slim sayings. So take a look. That one says happy birthday. Happy for you, enjoy, you are one of a kind. These are really good. I love them. Also, so the thing is, if you're spending $120, you might want to reach out to me and find out a little bit about the starter kit. Now, the starter kit, I know I always talk about the starter kit. It is actually the best way to stock up a lot of your supplies. So order things like designer series paper, cardstock, ink, what else is there? Some blocks, cleaning supplies, like the stamping mist and the Stampin' Scrub to clean your stamps with. Add that all into the starter kit. You can choose $165 worth of product from either the mini catalog or the annual catalog. And you also get two in January and February, 2 free stamp sets. So choose the most expensive stamp set that they have available. and add that to your kit, and all you pay is $135. It is a great way to start out. So if you're kind of on the fence, you want to try out a new hobby, try out some of the supplies that they're offering, this is a great way to do it. There is no commitment. You do not have to sell to anybody, I promise. Unless you want to, unless you're just so excited like me and just want to tell the whole world. You don't have to have parties. You don't have to sell to other people. You don't have to do online videos. I just do it because I love doing this and I love teaching it, because I get so much joy from it. I don't know. My friend always laughs at me. She says, "Oh, Tina, you get so excited when you stamp. You just go, just get out, you know, kind of crazy." I said, yeah, I do, because every time I stamp, it never fails. Every time I stamp, I see that image on the paper, and I get really, really excited. It just makes me so happy. And I want to share that with you. So anyways, let me know if you're interested in that. $135, no tax, no shipping, anywhere in Canada. Join my team. We have a very active team. Actually tonight our team is doing very special fancy fold gathering. It's just something special, just for the team members to get together, have a little chat, do a little crafting. So I do try and keep us very active. We're all a community. We're all in the same boat, even though we're maybe kind of in our homes, snowbound, or, you know, with COVID and stuff. But it is a community, and they are lovely, lovely ladies. It's fantastic. So you might want to consider joining my team, grabbing the starter kit, stocking up on supplies. Like I said, February, designer series paper. All you need is a stamp set with sentiments, a little bit of ink, like black. You just need black or whatever your favorite color is. Some designer series paper, which I've already sent out to those that have signed up. And let's get creating some cards. So anyways, that's enough yabbering about that. I don't know about you, but whenever I watch a video, I always look what's in the background. And as you can see in my background over here is where I keep all my stamps. And you'll notice I keep my stamps facing out so that I can see always the front. I just love to see that because it gives me some ideas. I find that when I have them on a bookshelf, all you see is just the back binding, just like a book, and I don't know what the pictures are. And I always have them up on here. This is my own design. I popped it up with a little 1.5 by 1.5 from Home Depot and some fishing line. I don't know why, and just so I can see the front. So that's what you see over here. There's my catalogs. You'll see over there. There's my little fridge full of water. And up here I have some of my designs I started, and I don't know if you can see in there. I have a map of Canada, and what I do, I haven't shown it for a while, but I like to put the little pins on where all my friends are and all my team members so I can see. It just really makes me feel more connected to everybody. So I don't know about you, but whenever I'm watching a video, I'm always looking behind that person to see, oh, what have they got? And, you know, is there an idea I could use? I don't know about you. Comment below if you do that too. I do that. But, so anyways. So don't forget, grab today's Takeaway Tuesday with NorthernStamper, and oh, in one package, I put a little treat. So, question, did you win? I have it written here. Did you win? Comment below if you are the winner of something that's in your extra, that's in your package. So I popped it in there, in the January 25th package. So take a look if you have it there. All right. Don't forget, get your In the Moment stamp set. We are going to be using that. Your Memento Black or your Stazon, either one doesn't matter. And today I thought, oh, you know what? I'm gonna toss it different, and instead of using Stampin' Blends, which are my #1 favorite, love Stampin' Blends, which are an alcohol-based markers for coloring. I love coloring. They are my absolute favorite and go-to. I thought, you know what? Let's try something different. And today, I'm going to be using Stampin' watercolor pencils. And I'm going to show you how to use that, along with a blender pen. And, of course, Wink of Stella. Gotta add that Wink of Stella, man. That adds so much. Okay. So I'm going to be using that. Make sure you have your coloring utensils, your little package. Comment below if you have what's inside. And let's put the catalogs away and get started. All right, so what I'm going to do is actually pop you up on the camera mount. So hold on a second. I've been able to figure out a lot of my video issues. Now it's just more like my issues that I'm dealing with. So let's get you up on the camera mount. Hopefully you won't fall out. Oh, there we go. Oh, hold on. It's like a Pirates of the Caribbean and Disney. So, as I said, my name is Tina Kvergich. I am Northern Stamper. I'm a Canadian independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located east of Toronto in a town called Ajax. Are you close to there? I don't know. So if you are anywhere in Canada, doesn't matter where you are, we can all be friends and craft together. Oh, Betty says stick a pin in Simcoe, Ontario. I will definitely do that. If you need to reach me, northernstamper@gmail.com. I like to make things nice and easy for everybody because I think things in life are just too difficult, and crafting should not be one of them. So, memento, in the moment, and your package. Now let me know, did you win? Did you win? All right, so let's get started. And what I'm going to do is I've already placed I placed my item on the block, and I'm going to use the girl that is reading. I thought I'll just do that. So let's open up our package, okay, and get started. Now, I've started writing on all the items that you need for the package. So it says here the stamps that you're going to need: Memento, black ink, Wink of Stella, Stampin' Blends, or, you know, something to color with, adhesive. You can always find the video at Northern Stamper on this Facebook page or on my YouTube page. I do upload that weekly to my YouTube page. Okay? All right. Oh, it's a double. I see it's double enclosed. So let's open this up. Now, always be careful when you're opening the package because there may be a little bits of embellishments coming out and stuff like that. Okay? All right. So let's take a look what we got. First, we have our card base. Okay, so that's already holding all the stuff together. And inside there are two. There's a black and a white. They are exactly the same, but I'm going to show you what to do. We are going to be using the black to create a mat, and the white we're going to be stamping our image on. So keep the white off here. Place the black to the side. Inside is a piece of cardstock, which is dry embossed, or I ran it through with an embossing machine, and I used the gingham embossing folder. It's a very subtle, I think you can see it there. Oh, Karen Snow, it was you! Oh my goodness! Congratulations! I have no idea who I sent it to, but congratulations, Karen! Yay! Yay! I'm so excited. So I placed this through with the gingham embossing folder, and I'm telling you, one of my absolute favorite from the mini catalog. I think I've used this on every card that I've used for embossing. Love it. So take a look at that. There's a little bit of twine. We'll add something like that. There are some little gems in there, so be careful as you pull that out. Now there are, oh, there's one hidden there. And there's some pieces of designer series paper. We are going to be cutting this down, and it depends. You can use whatever side that you want, okay? Whatever floats your boat. I made them a little large so that you can cut them down to whatever size you want. You can cut them in half and use like multiples, so maybe that's what I'll do today. So I'm going to put those off to the side, okay? All right, so we've got enough room. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp my image in Memento Black. If you have Stazon, that works well too. And actually, the Memento Black is good for the Stampin' Blends. Now, it may not be good so much for, say, the Wink of Stella or a watercolor, because as you touch the edge, it may smudge a little bit. What we could use is Stazon, which is a more permanent type of ink. Oh, sorry, I had to run over and grab it. So there is a Stazon, and you can use this actually on things like, on mugs. Oh, this is very cool. This is very cool. I just had to grab it. You can use it on tile. So this stays on. You can use it on tile. It'll eventually dry. So there you go. See? Doesn't. You can use. I just did this as a test. I wanted to try. This is a very old one. I didn't color it in, but I still think it looks pretty good. I should. Maybe now what I'll do is I'll take my Stampin' Blends and I'll color this. But you will have to actually cover it with something if you're going to use it, like if you put your coffee mugs on and stuff, because it may come off. Right now this has been sitting for about a year. So it's pretty solid. And I've used the Stazon on this tile. I went to Home Depot and just grabbed one. So the Stazon, it is really good, so I'm going to be using it. The only reason I'm using it is because of the watercolor pencils and the blender pen. Now if you're using, say, some watercolor, like the pen with the water in it, you may want to use this and a little different type of cardstock, which is water coloring paper. But I'm not using the one with the paintbrush on it with the water. I'm just going to use the blender pen. Now, with the blender pen, when you're using it on regular cardstock, if you put too much on, it will start to pill. So just to be aware of that. I'm only going to be using a little bit. So whatever you're using for coloring is fine. So if you're using Stampin' Blends, make sure you use Memento Black. Okay? I'm just using Stazon because I'm using the watercolor pencil, and I wanted to show you a little different things with the watercolor pencil. So enough talking about that. Let's get inking. So I'm going to ink up with my Stazon. I don't know, some people, oh look, there's cat hair on there. Ooh. Guess the cat has been down here in the middle of the night stamping away. My little Faith, that's a cat. Guess she's been wanting to make me cards. Please feed me. Okay, so I'm going to place that on there. Now don't forget, if you get it crooked, there are always two sides to a piece of paper, and worst case, there are four sides as you cut a new one. Okay? Alright, so I have that now stamped on there. Now I'm going to want to clean this off right away, especially with the Stazon. So because I'm using the Stazon, it will stay on. So I'm going to clean it right away. Okay? And I'm using my Stampin' Scrub. I like that. Hold on, it's like a little earthquake there. And it's going to clean it off. Now if I get quick enough with the Stazon to clean with my Stampin' Scrub, it will come completely off the stamp set. If you do leave it for like longer, like 10 minutes, it'll stay on there. But if you get it right away, it will clean off with the Stampin' Mist. Okay? So if you are actually doing a starter kit, I strongly suggest the Stampin' Mist and the Stampin' Scrub. And this bottle will last you, I think mine's last me 3 years, so I just had this replaced, and I use it every time. You can always use the Stampin' Scrub. It's up to you, and that's $11, but I thought I've always used the Stampin' Scrub, and it really gets in between all the little nooks and crannies. So I'm going to put that back in. Okay. And now I'm going to do some coloring. I don't know about you, so whatever you're using for coloring, let me know below. Comment below on what you're using. So I'm going to be using the watercolor. Now, one of the things with the watercolor is if you press lightly, you'll get a light image or a light coloring of the ink. Apparently I can't speak. Now if you press harder as you use, whoa, I pressed so hard it broke right off. So always keep that, oh my goodness, keep your pencil sharpener close. Okay. Whoa, holy cow. And I'm using Melon Mambo on this one. So, okay. So as you press a little harder with the watercolor pencil, the color of it will be a lot richer. So you can see on the pillows, I'm doing one that's much darker than the other. Okay? Whoops. Okay? And there's one that's lighter. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to color everything on my image first, and then I'll go over it. So let's do some of that. I'll make her blanket a little green. Which color is this? Old Olive. Now they have two different sets of watercolor pencils that you can choose from. There's a set that's about $22 and another set that's $17, and they have different colors in there. So if you're taking a look at the watercolor pencils, be aware that they are not the same. They are different colors in the set. Okay, let's color her pants a little bit. Oh, Midnight of Navy I'm using on there. So this is just like coloring in a coloring book. There are some stamp sets that are really good for coloring. One of them, I just don't have it with me. It's books, and that is one I thought, oh, maybe I'm gonna do that. I have that out to do some coloring on that and testing out. So keep an eye out. I'm going to be using that soon. And let's see, what else have we got here? Some more colors. I don't know about you, I love coloring. Coloring is one of my favorite things. Even as a kid, I loved it. I used to, when I started out working in the government, and as a stress relief, I would bring in a coloring book, and this was back in like the early 90s, and I would color on my lunch break just as a stress relief. I always thought people were laughing at me, but look at now. Nowadays, apparently I was ahead of the time. Okay, and let's get some more color. I also wanted to mention Stampin' Blends are coming out with some new colors that are more flesh tone, and that's going to be very exciting, so that you can color in the faces and the hands of a lot of the images. The colors that come in that new flesh tone color are quite nice. They got some really nice browns and beiges, so keep an eye out that if you do like coloring, put that on your list. If you grab the starter kit, you can place those in your starter kit now, and I want to show those off a little later. Okay, almost done coloring the dog. Okay, we're all coloring away. I know this is not so exciting watching me color, but I just want to kind of get some of this started. I'm just about done. As you can see, it doesn't take long. Now I'll just finish up her socks, and I'm going to show you now with the blender pen what I'm going to do. Okay, so I have her all colored up, and you can see some of the images are a little darker. It's a little fuzzy, but there's some that are darker. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my blender pen, and first I'm going to just double check to make sure that there's no color on it, and I'm going to just kind of like a paintbrush carefully mix the colors with the blender pen, so it doesn't look anymore like I've done it with pencil crayon. So it starts to kind of come all together. Cindy loves to paint too, color too. Oh, good. So I'm not alone. As I transition between the colors, I'm going to, on a scrap piece of paper, just kind of touch off, just to make sure that I'm not transferring any of the ink color around. It does come off quite easily, so I'm just gonna, okay, in between, and just kind of keep going carefully coloring in and mixing up the color. So I don't want to keep going over the color too much. Like I said, it will pill the paper. You can always use the watercolor paper that they offer if you know you're going to be doing a lot. But if you're doing lightly, it should be okay. So as you can see, as I'm going between, I'm touching off to make sure I don't transfer the color on to the next ones. Now, the watercolor pencils are not as dark as Stampin' Blends. I like Stampin' Blends because they're a nice dark color and they blend beautifully. Watercolor's really nice too. It just gives a different design to it. So see, there's a little bit coming off. Oh, I forgot the dog's leg there. So keep going. And like you'll notice, it's a little different than the Stampin' Blends. So I forgot the little dog's leg. Let's put hopefully that's the right color. There we go. Don't want him to be legless. Okay. And we're just about done. What I would do is just finish her up with the Stampin' Blends of the flesh tone. And there's something behind her. And I forgot to do her mug. What color should we do the mug? Let's do it a red. And all of these colors match all of the inks that are with Stampin' Up. Coordination is one of the great things that Stampin' Up does. Can't go wrong. Did I forget that guy's other leg? I'm not sure. We'll just color it in. Just can't tell. Oh, it's a little different brown that I used. Oh well. Okay. So I have that all colored in now. I don't know about you, but I like to add a little wink of Stella. So I'm going to add a little wink of Stella to maybe I'll just add it to her blanket. Just for a little bit of pizzazz. Okay. Maybe her socks too. My socks need pizzazzing. Oh, you know what? We can do all of it. We can even do the book. I think that's enough. I can get a little carried away sometimes. Alright, so we have that all nicely colored. Okay? So comment below, did you use Stampin' Blends or did you use watercolor pencils or markers? Like I said, it does give a different kind of coloring technique. Okay? I want to show you my original card. So what I did is I used Stampin' Blends on that first one, and there's watercolor on the second one. So you can see a little bit of a coloring difference. Okay? So let's get that off to the side and bring back in our pieces of cardstock and stuff. All our pieces. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this embossing cardstock piece and I'm going to adhere it to the front of my card. I don't want it to get lost, so just add some adhesive on that. Now I'm using a little bit more because of the embossing, because it is a little rough. I want to make sure it completely covers it. Alright, so that I have down. I'm going to use, now you'll notice that these pieces are a little large. I did that on purpose so that you can decide on what you want it to do. I'm going to cut these all in half because I want slimmer pieces to use. Okay, so just going to cut them in half. Okay, there's nothing really, you know, they don't have to be exactly. It's fine if they're not. So I'm just cutting in half. It's up to you if you want to. And yes, they are longer than the pieces, and that is for the same reason that you can cut at different lengths. So what I want to do is kind of do these just in little strips. Okay? And I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3. I'm going to have them overlap a bit. Do I want to use 5? Do I want to use 3? I'm going to figure out the design I want for my paper. And I kind of like this design, so what I'm going to do, I don't care how long they are, and I just want to make sure that they are it doesn't matter if they're all different lengths. I'm going to just take my snips, hold them all together, and cut. So yes, they will be different lengths, and that's cut on what I'm looking for. So I'm going to put some a little higher than the others, overlapping, and it doesn't have to be straight. Okay, hey, that actually looks pretty cool. And that is actually how I'm going to glue it down. Very simple, don't think too much about it. I'm going to add some adhesive across. Okay, and going to start with the middle, a little bit on an angle, and then I'm going to work left and right, a little higher on an angle, and kind of put them together. Maybe I'll go like that. Okay, there we go. There's all my tape is being covered. Easy peasy. There we go. Put that one on an angle too. There. Look, they're just laid down. Not thinking too much about it. Alright? Because sometimes when you think about things too much, you know, it doesn't work. Now, what I have left is the black shape, which is exactly the same. So if I put them on top of each other, you'll see a very small image around it. But what I want to do is I want to have the black go a little bit above and below. So I'm going to cut it right in the middle. Okay, and I want to just take it, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Maybe I'll even just kind of off to turn it a little bit. Oops, uh-oh, it's sticky. And I'm going to kind of hide it. There we go. Hide the corners that I've cut a little bit off. You can place them exactly straight if you want, but I am going to put them on a little bit of an angle. Okay, so I have it like that. The main thing is I've kind of hidden these corners a little bit when I place it down. Okay, I've got a little bit of a twine. There is my bow. Let's see if my fingers are working today. I know some people have little bow makers, or they use forks. Whatever works. I'm going to make a little bow. Or you can even just run it behind the image so it peeks out the side there. So, whoop, there we go. It worked. Try and make my loops the same. Pull on one end, and let's get a little glue dot. Don't forget to add your glue dots to your order or your starter kit. I'm going to make this, I'm going to mush it up a little bit, and just so that the little knot will be covered. Okay, there we go. Place that on there. Now, I'm going to get my dimensionals. Got a whole bunch of little dimensionals that I need to use up. Place my dimensionals on there. Dimensionals really like me. Do they like you? Okay, come on. Go, put a little bit on the bottom and a little bit on the top. Do you know that they have dimensionals that are black? You could always use that. That works really well too. This way you don't kind of see the white. And I'm just going to place that on the front. Pop! Just pop it down. Okay. Now, if you want to add a sentiment, you can use a piece of white strip. I'm going to stamp a little sentiment on this piece of Designer Series paper. And let's see what we can use. I'm going to use the word relax from this. So, get my memento, and I'm going to place it on there. And I am just going to stamp on that. Now, there's a little bit of wording, but I'm going to cut that off. Okay, so I'm going to take my snips, oops, and just cut it off. So all that I have left is just that one word, relax. go. I can pop it on there underneath. I think I like it on top. Can't go wrong with any card, really. And let's get started. There we go. Little bit of dimensionals. Like literally, little bit of dimensionals. Okay. And pop that on. Now, you may have noticed I put dimensionals only on one side of this because it kind of lays across. So that's the way I wanted it. Okay. Now, there in your package was some little iridescent pearls, or not pearls, but gems. Pop those off. Place them on wherever you like. Just for a little bit of design. I think those are what Karen got in her prize pack. So I'm going to pop some of these on. There we go. It likes me. Be careful with your snips if you're using your snips. They're very sharp. I don't know about you. Yesterday I was cutting the slim cards for March, and I apparently cut my fingers too. So there we go. There is our card for today. Using some designer series paper. I just love, love, love this In the Moment stamp set. Did you get it? I don't know. If you didn't, I think you need to add it to your box, to your starter kit. Let me know if you used Stampin' Blends, watercolor, or marker. So I'm going to show you my other card. You know what I always find? When I do my Tuesdays cards always come out better than my sample cards. I don't know why. I think they always turn out. All I have left to do is maybe just color in with those new Stampin' Blends that are skin tone color, and off they go. Which one do you like better? The one I did today with the little relax on it, or the original card? Let me know. Don't forget, if you have any questions, NorthernStamper@gmail.com. Consider the starter kit. Stock up and join me each Tuesday as we create a new card. And as you join my team, we've got a lot more extra fun things to do. So if you're on my team, don't forget, tonight is a fancy fold card night. Can't wait to see you tonight. Have a lovely day and good luck shoveling. Take care.